Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to ring the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. I am so sorry for my lack of uploads this summer. I do have children, so it is kind of hard for me to get away from them during the summer, but I did want to do a review, a video, and kind of a demo and a wear test of the new Hourglass. This is the Ambient Soft Glow Foundation. I'm so excited to be trying out this foundation. I don't have many like luxury brand foundations, but when I saw this, I really wanted to test it out, see if I liked it. I did get this in the shade 5. It is a little light for me, which is kind of strange because it is described as a light to medium kind of color, but it's definitely pretty light, but I can definitely make it work when I add a little bit more bronzer. This foundation does retail for $58. On Ulta's website there are 32 shades, which is a really great shade range. I did get shade 5. It is a little bit light for me. So the description of the foundation, it is a Hourglass Ambient Soft Glow Foundation, is a weightless liquid formula that delivers 16 hours medium buildable coverage with a light diffusing effect. When I heard light diffusing, that is what made me want to try it, because I do like the Hourglass, the ambient lighting powder. It does give you that kind of light reflecting, very small amount of sheen into the powder. So I'm hoping this foundation kind of has the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead, stop talking, and just apply it so I can get into a wear test. I am going to use my Too Faced. This is the Plump and Prime Luxury Face Plumping Primer Serum. I absolutely love this primer. It is a really great, just hydrating kind of plumping primer. I did try this foundation yesterday, and what I did notice is that it was a little bit drier than I had expected it was going to be. So I do want to use a bit more of a hydrating primer. I really massage that into the skin, let it sit down, and then we'll hop into with foundation. And for my eye look today, I did use my OPV. This is the Tropical Dreams eyeshadow palette. I love this palette so much, and it matched my shirt, so that is what is on my eyes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pump just a little bit of foundation onto my cheeks. I'm going to start with a really small amount because I think I got a little bit too much yesterday. Glad I did, because then it's not my first impressions and I kind of know what I need to do a little bit differently. Yesterday I wasn't the biggest fan of how this looked, so I'm going to go in with the E.L.F Complexion Duo brush, and I'm going to blend it out with a brush on this side, and then on the other side I will use a sponge just to see the type of different coverage I get. You can tell it's definitely a little bit too light, but that's okay. I'm just going to apply it without adding anything into it, just to see the type of coverage I can get, and then I can just bronze with bronzer. I'm going to zoom you in a little bit closer so you can kind of see how it looks as I apply it. And excuse the light, it's reflecting right off of something up in my window. It does have pretty decent coverage. I wouldn't say it's like full coverage or anything. Medium's probably a pretty good description for it. So there is a side with a brush. I don't think it just looks phenomenal up close. I'm seeing a lot of pores. I didn't do anything kind of pore related. Right there, that lighting's a little bit better. I moved what was up in the window. So up close, I will say this doesn't look fantastic in my pore area. I'm seeing a lot of pores right there. You can see a slight luminosity. It's kind of a strange formula. It's like very matte, but has a bit of reflection in it, I guess, but it's not like a hydration reflection. So on the other side, I'm going to go in with my sponge and just tap that in to see. I might have let it sit and dry a little bit too long. It definitely dries down really fast on your skin, so once you apply it, you want to blend it out really quickly. So the sponge might not be the best way to apply this foundation. I definitely got a lot less coverage on the sponge side. Let me see if I can build it up with the sponge. This foundation is supposed to be medium coverage, but I find I have to add quite a bit to get that medium coverage. So up close, the top of my nose is definitely looking a bit heavy. I notice a lot of pores in my kind of top of my cheek area right there. The finish is pretty. It's a very like soft, matte, kind of velvet. That's a good description. It's like a velvet finish, but it has a bit of a reflection. So there is that. I am going to leave it there. I don't want to apply too much. Yesterday I applied too much and it definitely looked pretty heavy. You have a pimple right there and it's not covering that up at all. So I applied the foundation. It is looking a little heavy around my nose, but it does have a really pretty light reflection. So the whole light diffusing, I definitely see that in the foundation quite a lot. It looks a little heavy. I wonder how it's going to kind of settle into my skin. So what I'm going to do is hop off, apply all of my other makeup products, finish up my face, and then come back and let you know how everything sat on top of my foundation and see if I can do creams and liquids over it. Alright, so I finished up my makeup. On my lips, I have my Maybelline Vinyl and Cheeky. Cheeks, I have the BFF from Pink Honey, and then I have the Undone Lip and Cheek Palette. For highlighter, I am wearing the Flower Beauty. This is the Day Glow Highlighting Glaze. Okay, so my initial thoughts on this foundation, because this is the second time I've worn it, everything did go on top really nicely. It didn't break up anything. I did use creams, and nothing looks like picked up or anything. So it looks heavy in certain places around my mouth and my nose. It looks pretty heavy. Right here, I have a lot of pores. It really did kind of emphasize the pores. Other than that, it looks nice. It has a really pretty light diffusing kind of reflection to it. I don't know how I'm going to love this unless it settles more into my skin and looks a little less heavy. I'm not going to love it. It's quite heavy for medium coverage. It's not the most full coverage foundation I've ever used. It is definitely a medium coverage, but looks heavier, almost like a full coverage foundation. So I'm kind of shocked at how heavy it does look on my face. So I am going to go ahead and hop off. I'm going to do a full wear test. I'm going to check in later. Right now it is 8:30 in the morning, so I'm going to check in later this evening. So I am going to go ahead, hop off, do my day, and then I will come back with a wear test to let you know if it does kind of settle better into my skin. It is hot outside, so maybe with like the sweat, it'll kind of mesh more into my skin. So I will let you know, and I will be back shortly to let you know. So this foundation has been on me since 8:30. It is now 4:30. Okay, so this foundation has now been on me for 8 hours, and it looks like absolute crap. I look so oily, so greasy. It is very hot today. It's 103 right now. I just came inside from outside, so I understand like it's hot and sweaty. This looks more oily on me than any foundation I have, I think, ever tried. This looks so bad, and what sucks is that until it was oily, it was heavy and kind of cakey, and then it took like the oiliness to subside the cakiness, but now I just look so oily and greasy. I have not touched up my makeup or anything. Let's zoom in. So I haven't touched up my makeup or anything. It just looks so oily, and then you can see right here it looks really gross where it was like sinking into my pores. I think I hate this foundation. It really does not look good. I have drugstore foundations that work 10,000 times better. This is $58, and honestly, I would definitely suggest and prefer the Hard Candy that is $6. The Hard Candy one is an absolute beautiful foundation. This, not worth the money. Definitely think that foundation is overhyped. I personally do not like it. I have dry skin. I teeter about normal during the summer, but really right now I am feeling like the biggest grease ball of my life. It does not look good. This one from Hard Candy looks 1,000 times better in the heat. Both times I've worn this foundation, I have not liked it. It looks heavy and cakey until it is a grease slick. I've never looked so oily in my life. I would not suggest this foundation. So hopefully this was helpful. I've seen so many rave reviews about this foundation. I don't like it. I don't think it is worth the almost $60. Not worth it in my book, but you go ahead and try whichever foundation you would like. But for me, with my dry to normal skin, I did not like that at all. I feel like I have never looked so oily in my life. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will just catch you on the next one. Bye guys.